Hello everyone. Today I would be sharing a video where I faced all possible difficult situations of echosurgery. I was operating a young male with the polar cataract. Femtocataract surgery with implantation of toric multifocal intraocular lens was planned. After femtosecond laser, when patient was shifted in operation theatre under microscope, pupil became constricted. Sometimes it happens, but pupil responds well with intracameral mydriatics. Well, therefore, I started the surgery, removed the free floating entercapsule. Capsulorhexis was of appropriate size because pupil was dilated well before femtofire. But in this particular case, the pupil became refractory and not responding to any intracameral medication. Now, what to do in such situations? Should I use pupil expander devices? But it is the fact that any pupil expander device stretches the pupil and it disturbs the pupil expansion and constriction mechanism in the postoperative period. Normal pupillary functions are essential for the performance of multifocal IOL. Keeping this thing in mind, I thought to continue phacoemulsification without any help of pupil expander devices. I used intracameral mydriatics and combination of dispersive and cohesive viscoelastics to stretch the pupil without compromising its function. Since the patient was young with the very soft nucleus, so I decided to remove the nucleus with the help of irrigation aspiration tip only. Use of phacoenergy can be detrimental in such situation for the pupil and iris tissue. I used Sinskey to hook the iris tissue to create more room for the aspiration. That is why I always stress on the training of the second hand. Well, in the past I have already created a video on train your non-dominant hand for phacosurgery. I will share the link. You can go and check that particular video. After nucleus removal, the polar center became visible. During whole of the procedure, care was taken to maintain the antechamber pressure gradient to avoid the posterior capsular rupture. This surgery tested my patience level. I continued the surgery slowly, keeping full concentration not to touch the pupil and iris and not to create fluctuation in antechamber pressure gradients. Key to success in such situation is to remain calm and alert. Always keep the irrigation aspiration tip visible and all maneuvers should be done under proper visualization. Any blind step can be disastrous. Do not try to be perfectionist in such a situation. If you leave some fibers and tags of cortical matter, they would not affect the outcome. But obviously any posterior capsular rent can alter the situation for the rest of the life. After cortical cleanup, I filled the chamber with the high viscosity viscoelastics and now I was ready for IOL implantation. I implanted toric multifocal IOL and with the help of Varian, I placed it on the desirable axis. Some amount of cortical matter has been aspirated along with the removal of viscoelastic. Please do comment and always put critics. What would have you done in such situation? Please comment and please give suggestions. Thank you very much.